Hello, everyone. I welcome you all in this mentorship session. My name is Raghav Kumar Singh, and here we are in another mentorship session. And with great happiness, it is my privilege to introduce before you Abhijeet Kaushal sir, and he is right now working as a legal officer in RBI. तो इस सेशन में हम ये सारी जानकारी प्राप्त करने की कोशिश करेंगे कि अगर किसी एडवोकेट को, अगर एक लॉ स्टूडेंट को आरबीआई में अगर लीगल ऑफिसर में अपीयर होना है या अगर लीगल ऑफिसर की जॉब चाहिए, तो वो कौन सी एसेंशियल कंडीशंस हैं या ऐसी कौन कौन सी चीजें हैं जो उनको ध्यान में रखनी चाहिए अगर आप अभी लॉ परस्यू कर रहे हैं या अभी आप अगर प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं या अभी कहीं पे आप आप एस्पायर कर रहे हैं लीगल ऑफिसर के लिए। तो आज ये सारी जानकारी हम प्राप्त करने की कोशिश करेंगे। तो सबसे पहले मैं सर का धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा, अभिजीत कौशल सर। वी वेलकम यू एंड वी आर थैंकफुल टू यू फॉर गिविंग योर इनवैल्यूएबल टाइम। संडे को आप हमारे साथ आए, जुड़े। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर आपका।
Thank you so much, Raghav. I must thank you to take me on board this mentorship project, because it is really a nice project, because we have to, if we have achieved something good in life, it is our duty to give it to the society. Okay, so thank you to you too to start this mentorship project and to invite me as an expert mentor. Okay, so on this session, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It's a privilege for us. And sir, तो हम सबसे पहले स्टार्ट करते हैं सर आपकी जर्नी से। तो जैसा मैं जानता हूँ सर, आपने 2010 में बीएचयू से ग्रेजुएशन किया लॉ में। आफ्टर दैट यू वर प्रैक्टिसिंग फॉर 3 years एट साइड बाय साइड, यू वर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर यूपीएससी एज वेल। And in 2013 you joined Vijaya Bank as a law officer. In 2016 you joined SBI as a deputy manager law, and finally in 2019 you joined RBI as a legal officer. So you have a very interesting career trajectory, sir. तो मैं उसके बारे में कुछ जानना चाहूंगा सर कि आपकी ये जो जर्नी रही है राइट फ्रॉम स्टूडेंट टू आरबीआई, हाउ डिड यू कम अक्रॉस दिस एंड व्हाट वर द हर्डल्स यू फेस्ड एंड फाइनली हाउ डिड यू रीच देयर?
True. So I will start from my BHU days. So I have completed my graduation from my hometown. After that, I entered into BHU law school. So that was really a very good experience for me. I have done 3 years law from BHU. So from 7 to 10, I have completed my law. So in BHU, see, we read lots and lots of subjects. So many project presentations are there. So that has given me good exposure as well as good, I must say, confidence on the subjects. So I was pretty sure ki, okay, now I have a good command over the law, and I can now pour into the field, and I definitely want to do some good. So then my father is an advocate on taxation side, so I started working with him, and we have some dreams to also achieve. So I have started my preparation into UPSC, but okay, that couldn't happen. And then side by side, I have gone into Vijaya Bank. Okay, so I have appeared for IBPS exam, and then I have qualified that. In 2013 August, I have joined Vijaya Bank as a scale 1 law officer. So my first posting was in Bangalore. So going from UP directly to Bangalore was a big difference for me. So it took little time to understand the circumstances, environment, and everything. And see, when you have never worked into any professional field, no. So because in my home the environment was quite different. It was my father's office, and we were like working ki as and when kuch bhi hai kaisa bhi hai. So there was nothing much like that ki we are into some others domain. But when I joined Vijaya Bank, it was a complete different experience. And I haven't studied these banking laws, specifically SARFAESI and all, into our college days. So it was complete new thing. So I was thinking, Arey, what is this? So then we have started, my AGM law was there, then he has guided me also. So we have picked up there. I have picked up a lot of things. So basically we worked in SARFAESI. Secondly, this DRT Act. Okay, that IDBFI Act was there. So we used to work on these two are the major subjects where we work in banking sector. Okay, apart from that, other things are also there, but these two are the major thing, because banks totally depend upon the recovery. Okay, so we have to work on these things. So I have worked there in Bangalore. Then I moved on to Delhi. I got transfer. So I had a very good experience of DRTs also. I used to appear before DRT, before Recovery Officer Registrar, before PO also. I used to appear in SARFAESI applications, DRT at whatever we used to file there. So it was a very good experience, because you are working in the organization and you are working in the court also.
Correct.
So that gives you some confidence, some like it's quite good. No, you are gaining experience in both the fields. So that gives you an extra edge. Okay, those who are in-house counsels, and if they have an opportunity to represent your employer before some court or tribunal, that is quite good, because it satisfies your ego also, no, that you are a lawyer. Yes. And you are not sitting inside, you are going before the courts. Okay, so that was very rich experience. So I have gained quite a lot good experience from Vijaya Bank. Then in 2016 I have appeared in this SBI Scale 2 exam. I have qualified that with the grace of God, and then I entered into trajectory of State Bank of India. Then again I went back to Bangalore. My first posting in SBI was in Bangalore. So then I thought, it is my destiny. I think I have to come to Bangalore only. Okay, so I worked there. I was posted in a big branch, that was management branch. So there quite big projects were there on which I have worked with my senior. So that has also added to my experience which I have already gained. But the experience, see, there is a difference also when you are working in a smaller bank and a larger bank. Correct. So there, see, law is same on both the sides. Okay, law is the same, but the experience, but the cases, they make difference. Okay, correct. So there few big projects I have handled, no doubt with the system, with the guidance of my senior over there. I have learned quite a lot of things there. And then finally, I have decided that since I am in banking sector, so I have to reach the zenith. And though I was in SBI, SBI is the largest lender in India, but there was a feeling that no, when the regulator is there, I have to be into the regulator. So that was the passion, you can say, that was the desire, you can say, to reach the zenith. So I have tried, and then this vacancy was there with me. Like I used to see the vacancies in 16 also, I saw the vacancy, but then it was a moving time from Vijaya Bank to SBI. I couldn't appear in the examination. Again, the vacancy came in 18. So I thought, okay, let me take a chance. So I have appeared in that exam, and then again, I cracked that exam, and I am into RBI. So I joined RBI in February 2019. Okay, so 19 I have joined RBI, and since then I am working here as legal officer in Grade B. Grade B is a starting point where one can enter into RBI in these fields. So this is my journey from my class to RBI.
Very interesting, Abhijeet sir. And one point that I noticed was generally people who apply for RBI and those people who aspire for IBI, since you were someone who was already preparing for UPSC. So people who prepare for UPSC, they keep RBI as their backup. There are people who keep RBI as a backup. Now, what destiny had with you was that in 2013, when at that point of time you were preparing for UPSC, you went into Vijaya Bank, then you came to SBI, and finally destiny took you to RBI. So at the end of the day, you are in the in RBI. But sir, what is more inspiring for me and obviously for the viewers is that you hail from a very small place, Mirzapur. And if we see the trend that people who are entering into RBI, these are the people who generally they work in law firms, good law firms, and then they prepare for these exams. So that that ambitious that nature is inherent in you. तो वो कहाँ से आया सर आप में, मतलब आप जब मिर्जापुर जैसे छोटी सिटी से आप हेल कर रहे थे, आपने बीएचयू से पढ़ाई करी, तो वो किसने आपको इंस्पायर किया कि आप you can actually feel that yes, even though I hail from a small city, I have done BHU, I have done law from a college, a traditional college, BHU. अब उसके बाद I can aspire to be at RBI. वो instinct कहाँ से आई सर आप में?
Raghav, first thing, that motivation came from the society itself. So since we are in a very small town, and I used to see my father that he is working. See, for lawyers, there is no Saturday, there is no Sunday, there is no 10 to 4 job. They are working 24/7. Okay, so even I used to see him that he is completely like for the society. So I also wanted to do some good for the society. And when I was in my graduation days, so I never felt like I will do law and I will go into the legal domain. Okay, but it was my father who has prompted me ki nahi beta, you should do LLB. It is a good course. So I used to say, no, it is not a good course. I'll become IAS officer only. Okay. So because I wanted, I see, I am not saying ki other professions can't do good for the society, or they are not doing good for the, everybody is doing good for the society in their own sense. Okay. But I wanted to do that, but when he told ki, you should do law, I said, okay, fine, let me decide. So that was the first breakthrough in my life, I must say, when I cracked this exam of entrance exam of BHU. So I was feeling like I am at the top of the world, because I wanted to be into some central university, because I haven't seen any big university in my life. So I went to Delhi also, I went to JNU also. So I used to draw inspiration from these places. Okay, who are these students who study here? Okay, from where they come? Okay, like that. This was the feeling in my mind. So I used to think, no, I have to be in some big central university, and then I will study there. So that was my first thing. I was very much enthusiastic about my academics. Ki I will study, but I will study from some, because government is providing a lot of opportunities. No,
correct.
These big institutions. So we have to respect that also.
Yes.
Okay, so I decided, I will try my level best. Okay, I will try. So I have tried and I have achieved that. So that was the first major breakthrough in my life. Brilliant. And then after that, when I went to Vijaya Bank, so after working there, I felt ki no yaar, matlab, I have to go ahead. I have to move ahead. I have to go to some place which has ki this is the last point in India. Okay, so because after working in banking sector, going back to practice was not an option. So being in banking sector, having great knowledge, experience of banking sector, and that too in recovery field. So I thought, no, I will move ahead, and the opportunity came and then I grabbed it. The most important thing is that you have to grab the opportunity with its collar, with like catch the bull on. Okay. Otherwise you cannot. So that thing was there, and I wanted to be in the top institution in India. So that was that.
Sir, I could great, sir. Sir, I could gather two things. So first one that I could gather from your answer is that irrespective of where you are, you should always be ambitious. That is first thing. You don't need a tag, and this is for all our viewers, that irrespective whether you are in NLU, non-NLU, wherever you are, your ambition will take you to your destiny. That is the first thing that we learn from our research story. That is the first thing. Wherever you are, the tag does not matter. That is the first thing. Even if you hail from a small place like Mirzapur, sir is a living testament of that fact, that you can reach and you can achieve your goals. That's the first thing. Second is that you should not get complacent. That saturation should not come. Say if you are coming from some place and for you this wherever you have reached, you feel that yes, this is it, and I'm pretty satisfied. That satisfaction should not be such which should stop your growth. That is the second thing that I could gather from Sir's story, that irrespective, coming from that place, he went to BHU and then he went to Vijaya Bank, then in SBI. Even after that, he had that fire in him. After reaching all those positions in life, he still had that fire in him. He was not satisfied. He wanted to reach where he perceived himself to be. So never be satisfied, always have that hunger. It's a great message. I think this is the very base. We will enter into the intricacies of the RBI preparation, but what you have conveyed to the students at large is a very good message, that background you should not generalize yourself with the background, you should not generalize yourself with the college, and you should never be satisfied. So now coming over to the RBI grade B exam in general, sir, if you could throw light as to what is the nature of the exam and how to prepare for it. So first I would like you to throw light on what is the nature of exam, how many papers one has to give, and then how one should approach.
Yeah, Raghav, it is first of all, before approaching any exam, we should see which exam we are going to face. Okay, which institution is conducting the exam? What are the nature of that working of that organization? Then only we can, at least we can understand, okay, what kind of the questions will be there.
Correct.
So if it is a commercial organization, they will more focus on commercial things. They will more focus on commercial laws. Okay, but RBI is not a commercial organization. Okay, RBI is the apex institution of India with regard to framing of policies in banking sector. Okay, for all banking, non-banking sector. So we have to understand this. So which kind of institution it is? It is not a commercial organization. It is a regulatory organization. So
Correct.
Regulatory organization means you will be framing regulations, right? Regulations, policies, which will be binding on the regulated entities. So if we are framing any law, any regulation, so any regulation is in the form of an statute. It is in the form of a law. We have studied administrative law in our college days, right? So here, from here, we can start our journey to how to crack the exam, how to take the exam. Okay, so first of all, the important thing is that we have to understand our basics in a very thorough manner. Like basics starts from constitutional law. So constitutional law, because you are bound by the wires of constitution. Whatever decision you are taking, it should not be ultra wise to article 14 of constitution. It should not ultra wire article 19, article 20 of the constitution. Okay, because your guidelines are in the form of a law, right? So you have to be very cautious about that. So these things are very important. Secondly, whenever you are framing a law, okay, whenever you are framing a regulation, then it should be in consonance with the law. Okay, so you should not exceed your authority, whatever authority you have. Correct. So there comes the administrative law. So these two things are very important from the point of view of examination. Okay, so you have to be very thorough in your basics as so far as constitution is concerned, so far as administrative law is concerned. So administrative law, we have seen many principles like principle of natural justice, rule of law, delegated legislation. Okay, so basic only, whatever we have studied in our first year, no, first semester, second semester, those things are only important. Like for any exam, if you go for UPSC also, or any big exams we are going, we have to be very good in our basics. It is that exam only. Okay, you have to be very good, very thorough in your basics. Okay, apart from that, since we are into banking field also, non-banking field also, so you must have get who are these entities. These entities are corporates, these entities are companies. Okay, so you must have no knowledge how the companies function in India. So for that, companies law is there. Okay, for that, corporate law is there. Okay, what they are doing. Okay, so for that, you need to definitely know what functions they are undertaking. So for that, you need to know SURFACI also, banking, this DRT Act also. You need to know insolvency and bankruptcy code also, because nowadays this insolvency and bankruptcy is in vogue. Okay, so we can, so these are the things. So slowly you have to understand, okay, what is the exam, what is the institution, okay, what work it does. Okay, that will give you the idea which kind of law you have to study. Okay, you have to study Transfer of Property Act, because we deal with the transfer of property. Okay, we there are various things. Okay, so these things, these are the only basic laws we have to study. I am not saying ki you go for reading IPR. Okay, that is not required from the point of view of this exam. Okay, because that is very specific law, specific to a very particular subject. Okay, this is not the case with this exam. For this exam, you have to very thorough in your basics. So many students, so many aspirants call me, and they send me a message on LinkedIn also. They ask me, sir, how to prepare for these exams? Okay, what should I do? Okay, I have done LLM also. Somebody said, I am doing PhD. What should I do? I said, when you are doing LLM, when you are doing PhD, you need not ask me, because you are very thorough in your basics. Okay, so just go through your basics and it will take care of you. Apart from that, like whatever subjects, arbitration, though it is not very much required, okay, in banking parlance, in RBI, so far as RBI is concerned, but you must have some knowledge of, like, these are the things which are very, very important. Contract law, companies law, transfer of property act, sale of goods act, partnership act, because there may be subjects which may be doing business through partnership mode. Okay, so if you are making any regulation which hit on partnership also, and you don't have the knowledge of partnership, then you will be failed in your duties. So you must know the basics of everything. The subjects which you are reading in your first year of law, that is sufficient.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. So essentially, the basics of the subject, basically the syllabus, I think whenever the notification is there, the RBI comes up with a suggestive list of the subjects over which the question shall be asked. So the basics of those subjects, you did not deep dive into those subjects. Basics, at least you should be able to understand. Apart from that, sir, as far as the pattern of the paper is concerned, so with my limited understanding, as far as I know, there are two papers. First one is the law paper. Second one is the English paper. So and it is subjective in nature. It is objective as well as subjective in nature. Subjective, that means that one has to write. So it's not
Yeah.
only, it's not as like IBPS where one goes and just sit in front of the computer and they just have to mark ABCD. Here one has to write subjective answers. So sir, how did you prepare for these subjective answers?
Again, the same thing. Okay, when you are thorough with the subject, you can answer objective questions as well as subjective questions. Okay, subjective questions, like if I am talking about constitutional law, okay, so you need not read all the articles and schedules and everything in constitution. Okay, what you have to read is that just fundamental rights, DPSP, and fundamental duties, then little bit of Supreme Court, and then union executive, your amendment thing is there. Okay, and emergency provisions. These are the basic things. Okay, if you have studied this, they may ask so many questions, like your public interest litigation is there, correct? So it comes from that only.
Correct.
Okay, these kind of questions may come. When I appeared, it was the first question was on PIL. Okay, so these are the basic questions will come. Okay.
So what is the length of the paper, sir? What is the length of the paper? Is it good enough to be completed within the time span which is given by the RBI, or do you need practice, regular practice? Say sometimes why I'm asking this question is because most of the aspirant, because RBI generally asks for experience of 2 years. So after the law student graduates, for those 2 years, he might not be in the practice of writing regularly. So that would create problem for those people to complete the paper within the timeline.
When you are practicing, you have to draft also, no? And you have to draft in a given time frame. Suppose tomorrow is the matter, and you have to draft today in the evening. So you have to draft, no? So see, you can practice. It depends upon person to person. Okay, but the time slot given 3 hours is sufficient to complete the paper. Right. You are not supposed to type on the system. Okay, except English paper. Few things you have to type on the system. But for the legal paper, you have your pen in your hand. You can write. Okay, and the time given is sufficient. So first 15 questions will be there of 2 marks each. So that will be objective in nature. And then 120 questions will be asked on subjective ground. Okay, so 30 plus 120. So total marks will be 150. So 120 questions, 120 marks question you have to write. So there may be, I think, 6 questions will be there. Okay, so there may be these questions on your subjects. There may be questions on your drafting skill also. You may be asked to draft a letter, not like not simple letter like you're asking for sick leave or casual leave. These letters will not be there. Letters like suppose they will ask you to assume that you are a governor. Okay, the situation of inflation has arisen in the country. You have to write a letter to somebody. Okay, if you are a citizen in your village, there is some problem in the village. Okay, you have to address this problem to your head of the village panchayat, so what will be the nature of your letter? These kind of letters will be there. Apart from that, they may also ask you to draft circulars issued by RBI, circulars, master directions, okay, so that you can practice, because there are, everything is available on the website of Reserve Bank of India.
Correct.
So you can download from there, you can practice that also. Okay, how the circulars are being drafted in RBI, okay, to whom it is addressed, how the date is there, okay, how the flow is coming in circular, in master directions, okay, what is like when it is addressed to commercial banks, whether all the circulars are addressed to commercial banks, like that. Okay, so you may see various options are there, you can also see. Apart from that, you can also be asked to draft your other things in law, like power of attorney, will, okay, some agreements, so those things will be there. So apart from your knowledge in substantive law, you will also be asked to show your drafting skills. Okay, and drafting skills will be on these lines. These will be the subjects on which you will be asked to draft. Okay, so you have to have knowledge on all these counts. Okay, because here you have to draft also, right? Suppose anything has come, any circular has come to you for your legal opinion, then what you'll do? Okay, you must have the drafting knowledge. Okay, and while drafting, you have to concentrate on all the laws. You have to keep in mind all the laws. Okay, all the basic laws. Okay.
All right. I think that's a very relevant piece of advice. When we are approaching for this exam, for RBI exam, it is not only your knowledge as far as the subject matter is concerned. You should be very good with drafting as well, because as sir has said, that you will be getting questions on drafting of will, power of attorney, even circulars. So it's not only the English aspect, it's drafting skill as well, which will be assessed in the paper. तो I think ये बहुत relevant piece of information है, जो लोग भी RBI के लिए aspire कर रहे हैं. तो जैसे सर ने बताया, आप सब लोग एक बार RBI के वेबसाइट, जो उसके सर्कुलर्स वगैरह हैं, एक बार आप लोग जाएं, देखें उसको, सर्कुलर्स की लैंग्वेज क्या है, उस सर्कुलर्स के लिखने का तरीका क्या है, और जितनी क्लोजली एसोसिएटेड रहेगा आपका ड्राफ्टिंग स्किल, उनका जो तरीका है, उतने ज्यादा आपको नंबर मिलेंगे. और सिर्फ ये पेपर जो है नॉलेज बेस्ड नहीं है, इसमें आपकी ड्राफ्टिंग भी जरूरी है. ऑल राइट, ठीक है सर. सर, व्हाट एडवाइस अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, इफ समबडी हु इज देयर इन लॉ कॉलेज और उनको ये एग्जाम में अपीयर होना है, तो कौन सी ऐसी स्किल जो है वो अभी से प्रिपेयर करें, जिससे कि ये एग्जाम वो एस कर सके आगे जाके?
Just my only advice will be just focus on your basics. Okay, basics should be on your fingertips. Okay, any concept in law should be on your fingertips. Okay, so you need not, suppose if you are working somewhere, so you need not again go and read everything. Okay, so the basic things, basic fundamental concepts of law should be on your fingertips. Secondly, you must be aware of the relevance, the what is happening in the society, because essays will be asked from that. Okay, so presently whatever thing is going on inside the country, that you must be aware of. So for that, you have to read newspapers, read good newspapers. Okay, form your own opinion, and then you will be asked to write one essay on that. Okay, because the first paper starts with the essay, so you have to write one essay also. So for that, you have to have, because see, you cannot cover essay from some book, from some magazine. Okay, you have to have knowledge on day-to-day basis. So for day-to-day basis, you have to read the newspaper. You cannot come and ask, okay, which book I should refer for writing essay. that is
correct,
unjustified, right? Yes. So this is my only advice.
All right. Sir, apart from this, since you cracked this exam when you were working, and your job was not a 10 to 5 job, you were a law officer, and that too in SBI, and that too in a huge branch. So I think you were facing the time crunch yourself. So अब उन लोगों के लिए क्या एडवाइस होगी सर, जो लोग ऑलरेडी कहीं पे काम कर रहे हैं, या एडवोकेसी में हैं, या किसी जॉब में हैं, और उन लोगों के लिए बहुत मुश्किल है टाइम निकालना, बट स्टिल दे वांट टू अपीयर फॉर दिस एग्जाम. तो कितना, एक तो ऑब्जेक्टिवली पूछ रहा हूँ सर, जैसा आपने बोला कि ये सब्जेक्टिव है सब पे, बट एक ऑब्जेक्टिव क्राइटेरिया कि जनरली कितना टाइम लगता है इसके लिए प्रिपेयर करने के लिए, और क्या जॉब में रह के ये एग्जाम निकाला जा सकता है, तो उनके लिए प्लान ऑफ एक्शन क्या होना चाहिए?
जॉब में रह के बड़े आराम से, if you have command over the subject, 1 month daily 1 hour 2 hour is sufficient, but you have to keep on reading newspapers also.
All right, great.
Don't
Abhijit
believe
sir, मैं
the
फिर
newspaper like okay, exam is after 2 years, so I will start reading the newspaper after 1 year or after 1.5 years. Don't do this, because knowledge builds over time. Okay, it
yes,
doesn't build in one day.
absolutely,
Okay, so you have
absolutely.
to read on newspapers. Okay, that is
Great.
very essential.
Already said that was very insightful. Sir, now that we have already covered केस के बारे में प्रिपेयर कैसे करना है इस एग्जाम के बारे में, तो अब मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि ये आरबीआई में एज अ लीगल ऑफिसर क्या एवेन्यूज हैं लॉ स्टूडेंट के लिए, एंड हाउ इज लाइफ एज अ लीगल ऑफिसर इन आरबीआई?
Yeah, so life as a legal officer in RBI, see here we RBI does not recruit legal officers in very large number. Okay, so the recruitment is very limited. Okay, when I have attended the exam, it was only there was only 9 vacancies. Okay, so only 9, 10, 11 like that vacancies come. So first of all, you must know in your heart that when you are going to join RBI, you have to become an institution in yourself. Okay, because there will be so many issues, and you will have to attend all the issues on the go. Okay, you cannot wait ki okay, I'll attend this issue first, let me finish it, then I will go to the second issue, then I'll go to the third issue. Okay, so there will be issues like you'll have to give opinions also, you'll have to attend to court cases also, you'll have to prepare counters also. So many things you have to do at the same time. Okay, so many departments you have to handle. Okay, maybe references, your opinions may be coming from various departments on various aspects of Banking Regulation Act and RBI Act, because RBI works on these two statutes, RBI Act, by which RBI has been established, and the second one is Banking Regulation Act 1949. Okay, so on these two you have to work very hard, and see, these two acts are not being taught in law schools. Okay,
Absolutely.
you come here and then you understand okay, what is the law, and then you start working on it. Okay,
Correct.
you may not put precedents like you find in contractual laws, property laws. Okay, because this is not that much contended subject, no, so it is not much in contention. Okay, the powers of RBI is given there, and that you have to just do. Then you have to interpret the law in the benefit of the society, in the benefit of the banking sector, in the banking of the depositors. Okay, so the life in RBI, I will not say tough, it's interesting. Okay, it's challenging. Okay, so that challenge you have to overcome. Okay, so this is the thing. And secondly, when we talk about the see, second thing, everybody wants work-life balance. Okay, so the institute gives all the avenues to you to make your work-life balance. Okay, the timings of the offices are fixed, but if the work demands, it is up to you
Yes.
how you are giving back to it. Okay, so that is there. Nobody will ask you to stay for long hours, that is there, but it's okay, it depends upon you how you are finishing the work fast and how you are able to leave the office in time. Okay, that culture is good here, that is no doubt about it. Okay, secondly, if you are really interested in other things like your academics, so for that also RBI gives you much better avenues where you can pursue your academic interests. Okay, you can go for higher studies also. So for that, all these things will be taken care of by the bank, but subject to the capability and the confidence in you. Okay, for that also there will be various stages, various processes to be followed. If you are really good on all those counts, you will be considered. Okay, so those things are also there. You can while doing the job, you can also enrich yourself with good degrees, good diplomas, good knowledge. Okay, so that is up to you. All the avenues are being provided by RBI. Okay, there is no doubt about it. So I'll say it's a good employer. Okay, so you gain experience while working also, you gain experience while studying also. Okay, everything is there, everything, whatever law you want to read, whatever anything and everything you will find here. Okay, that is very true.
All
There is
right.
no doubt about it.
Thank you so much, Abhijeet sir. It was such a delight having you on the mentorship project. एंड मैं ये चीज पूरे विश्वास के साथ कह सकता हूँ कि जो हमारा सेशन हुआ है, क्योंकि जैसे आपने बताया है कि जब at that point of time when you were pursuing your law and when you were looking for opportunities, ऐसे गाइडेंस देने वाले एवेन्यूज बहुत ज्यादा नहीं थे। तो ये जो आपने जो गाइडेंस दी है यहाँ पे, आई नो फॉर अ फैक्ट दैट इट इज गोइंग टू बी हेल्पफुल for everyone, and it is because you are someone who has come from a small place, you are someone who has made his own destiny, और आज आप वहां पे हैं, you are an inspiration for a lot of people, and this interview is on this one-on-one discussion or a mentorship session, I know for a fact that it is going to be helpful for a lot of students, and आपने जो भी इंट्रिकेसीज बताई हैं, आई नो दैट जो लोग इस चीज को लेके सीरियस हैं 100% ये चीज इनकॉर्पोरेट करेंगे। और सर मैं मतलब बिकॉज यू हेल फ्रॉम मिर्जापुर, सो आई वांट टू से दिस थिंग कि जरूरी नहीं है कि जो मिर्जापुर से निकले वो हर लड़का गुड्डू पंडित हो या मुन्ना भैया हो, वो अभिजीत कौशल भी हो सकते हैं। तो
and now you have seen last this year's UPSC, five students from Mirzapur, they have cracked UPSC.
Yes, see sir, that's what we want to tell students, that as far as these ये जो series हैं, these series are concerned, ठीक है, अच्छा लगता है ये सारी चीजें, but at the end of the day we have to be serious about where we are. Correct. We have to be serious. तो आप ambitious होइए लाइफ में, आप satisfy मत होइए लाइफ में जहां पे भी हैं, आप हमेशा लर्न करने की कोशिश करते रहें, आप जैसा काम मिल रहा है उस काम को आप सीरियसली करें। ये सारी चीजें आज हमने इस सेशन से सीखी हैं सर आपसे। तो सर थैंक यू सो मच फॉर डिवोटिंग योर टाइम, एंड वी आर लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड आपका, अगर फिर जैसे आपने अभी कंट्रीब्यूट किया है, इफ इन फ्यूचर वी नीड योर कंट्रीब्यूशन, वील 100% विल अप्रोच यू अगेन सर। बट सर थैंक यू सो मच, इट वाज सच एन इंसाइटफुल सेशन। सर लास्ट वर्ड्स जो एस्पिरेंट्स हैं उनके लिए।
Yeah, for aspirants I will only say ki just focus on your work. Even if you're working, like 2 years experience is required, so even if you're working, you are working in legal field only, so you are daily going through the laws, okay, so you need not work, you need not read apart from that only, okay, you are working, okay, so you cannot say that you are away from the subject. Correct. No, just you have to just systematize that knowledge within a week's time or within a month's time, so that you can just pour it onto the answer sheet. Okay, that is the only thing required. Just focus on your work, just go through the base, just revise your basics, okay, just go through the newspapers on daily basis. That itself is sufficient for you to crack this exam, okay. And so far as interview is concerned, so whatever you are doing, you have to say those things to the interviewer, that's all. There is no extra preparation required for interview. And thank you Raghav so much for taking me on board on this session, okay, because it is really helpful. When I remember when I was preparing for any exam, there was no such person or no such program on the internet at our time. I know that I used to have 1 GB data in 256 rupees, and then we used to use it scarcely, okay. So this facility was not there, this abundance was not there, and I used to download few papers of RBI, because question papers are available till 2016. After that it is not available for legal officers. Okay, so you have to have your own kya kehte hain, strategy. But you are here with the mentorship project, so I definitely know that it is going to help lots and lots of students.
Thank you so much Abhijeet sir, thank you so much.
Thank you so much Raghav. Thank you.
Right. Bye.